Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Joe Nicasio, business advisor, and topic of today is leadership is like getting cats to march together in a parade. Teams and committees are great for kicking ideas around, for creating ideas and sharing ideas. Not necessarily so great for decision making. Ultimately, there needs to be a team leader that's in charge of the team. So the team leader is their job is to listen to all the ideas and then ultimately come to a decision. And so um, my mentor, Jay Abraham, he says that, you have no right to tell the marketplace what they will respond to, but you have an obligation to discover. There's this movie Big where, all these executives at this toy company are saying, oh, we got the great new toy. And then they put it in front of the children, the end users, and they don't like the toy. And so, I think we need to be really I think it's very easy in a business setting or in many settings to fall in love with our ideas, and that's a mistake. We need to fall in love with our customers. So I think the challenge of leaders, it's it you know leadership. The challenge of leadership is very different from what good leadership looks like. The challenge of leadership is trying to get cats to march. It's trying to herd cats, and good leadership looks like cats marching together in a parade. And so, uh, you know, one of the things I've learned is there are no defective people, but there are defective processes. And what that means is, we're all children of God. There's nothing wrong with people, but sometimes we have to look at, I got this idea, but will this idea work? And so I think one of the filters of looking at will an idea work? Hey, Jeff, good to see you. Normally, committee one thinks, no, committee of one makes things happen. Maybe not necessarily the best ideas if they're not listening to the team. So I think it's a good idea. Ideas are great for kicking the ideas around, but ultimately, there does need to be that one person that makes the decision. And so one of the filters I've learned is simplicity is godly, complexity is the devil. If an idea is too complicated to implement, the chances are it won't be sustainable. But if it's simple and easy and fun and appealing, if it's easy to take action on it, then the chance of implementation and execution is a lot higher. I've run into people in my business life that, I just want to generate ideas and sell them. But, ideas need to be developed, and not everybody's ready to buy an idea that's undeveloped. Okay. Ideas are a dime a dozen, but, when it comes to execution, who's going to champion the idea and make it happen? The person that's just generating ideas all day long, there's a great story that Jim Rohn used to tell. Once upon a time, there was a man, he built a foundation. And then he went out and he built another foundation, and he went out and built another foundation. Next thing you know, he's got 9 foundations and no completed houses. And so our job is not to come up with a bunch of ideas and execute all of them. Our ideas is to come up with a bunch of ideas and execute one. We need to choose wisely. And so when I do this, I use the 4 hats of creativity. We use this in my business wisdom quest program. It's like choosing the right business for you is a creative process. And so the first hat of creativity is the explorer. You explore and you gather the raw materials of what you have to work with. My mentor Jay Abraham wrote a book, How to Get Everything You Want by Using Everything You Got. You're not going to create everything you want by using everything you don't got. That's a path to frustration. I want to start this business, but I need an investor. Then you become investor dependent. Okay. And if the investor shows up, you got a business. But if the investor doesn't show up, you've got failure. And so that doesn't work either. So the first hat of creativity is the explorer, where we gather the raw materials. And once we gather, a full inventory of what we have access to, then we put on the second hat of creativity, which is the artist, where we put ideas together and take them apart. In the context of Business Wisdom Quest, where the creative process of what business should I create, what business is the right business for you to go in. The question to ask is, if you had a blank canvas and you could design your dream business, what does it look like? And so the artist, gets a blank canvas and said, I could create this business, and they create it on a canvas. They sketch an idea, they have a vision, and they sketch, to give it some shape and form. Okay, then, maybe then he says, well, I could go in this other business. And so they get out another blank canvas. What does this dream business look like? And they sketch an idea and give it some form, and you might come up with 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 good ideas. So there's the explorer and then the artist, and then we put on the hat of the judge. Okay, and the judge is going to say, okay, well, we got 7 good ideas here, but we got to choose one. It's crazy to go into 7 different businesses at one time, but we need to choose one. We need to choose wisely. Okay, and so you run some criteria. um, what do I love doing this? Do I like the people I would be working with? Can I get them a great result? Can they pay me? Those are great questions to ask. So you have the explorer, the artist, the judge. And once the judge has made a decision, okay, once the leader has made a decision that this is the one idea that we're going to implement, then you put on the fourth hat of creativity, which is the warrior, and then you go out and do it. Where do you start building a house? Do you build a house at the roof? No. A lot of people would say you start a house at the foundation, but no, you really don't start at the foundation, because before the foundation is a blueprint, and before the blueprint is a vision. So, when it comes to being a leader and taking charge of creating your business, we want to get you want to get your business to work like cats marching together in a parade. That's good leadership. So we want to gather the ideas. We want to be creative and come up with a bunch of good ones and find one that we know is going to work through the judge. And then we take that warrior action. So you don't build a house or a business at the foundation. You do the deep dive work. You create visions, you create sketches, and then you make a wise decision. And once you've chosen the path, then you've got to get the city to approve your blueprint, because nobody's going to allow you to build a building that's not up to code. So those blueprints need to be up to code. You need to know the viability of the building, and you need to know the viability of your business. Okay, and so leadership is getting cats. Just going to summarize and wrap this up. Leadership is like getting cats to march together in a parade. Committees are great for ideas, but not so great for decision making. At the end of the day, you've got to be the leader in your business, and you want to be really sensitive to your end users. You have no right to tell the marketplace what they'll respond to, but you have an obligation to discover, and we do that by running tests. And so we don't want to fall in love with our ideas. We want to fall in love with our customers. Ideas are a lot more viable when they're simple. Simplicity is godly. Complexity is the devil. And make sure that you go through a creative process in your leadership. So gather your raw resources, put your ideas together, and then make a decision of which one you're going to take action on, and then be the warrior and go make it happen. All right. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. If you want to create a business and you don't know what business to go into, or you need help, you know what business you're in, but you need help getting to the next level. Maybe you're plateaued, you're making a certain amount of money or getting a certain amount of results, but you're plateaued and having difficulty or challenges getting to the next level. I am Joe Nicasio. I'm a business advisor, business mentor, and I love helping people start and grow businesses. I've helped over 4,000 people in 400 industries, and I could help you. Would you like to be next? If that's the truth, then read me. Gosh, you're amazing.